Hi, my name is Cheryl Peterson with Healing Science Today. Why I read the Bible and other books. If you haven't heard about the Bible, it's a book of books. The Bible I usually read contains 66 books. It begins with the book of Genesis and ends with the book of Revelation. Bible scholars can't really agree on who wrote what and when, but it took thousands of years before the Bible became this. Thousands of years. That's a lot of time, debate, revising, and input. The book of Genesis talks about human history through stories and verse. The book of Revelation talks about the possibility of human history surrendering to spiritual history, to a new heaven and earth. The common thread throughout the Bible is a God of love, mercy, and might. I suppose I believe in God because this human existence gets tiresome. Sometimes it flat out feels unreal, as if I'm a machine. Human existence turns into artificial lighting, artificial intelligence, and artificial personalities. I don't buy into the notion that I can get all my answers from the Bible. That notion goes against the purpose of the Bible, which I see as to get my answers and questions from God, from Spirit, not from something material that comes and goes. Spirit speaks to me as the movement of mind and honest investigation, a movement that pierces the artificial and interprets spirituality, a consciousness unrestricted to materiality. I read books about science and medicine, but with the same inclination not to think they have all the answers, but to practice the movement of mind and honest investigation. I read Science and Health, first written by Mary Baker Eddy, who wrote, "We take the inspired word of the Bible as a sufficient guide to eternal life." Sufficient, not the only guide. The Bible can be plenty while at the same time unrestrictive. There are other good points in Science and Health, so much so that I updated it, as the original author did in the 19th and early 20th century. In my book, 21st Century Science and Health with Key to the Scriptures, a modern version of Mary Baker Eddy's Science and Health, I kept that particular phrase. I kept the word sufficient. The Bible is sufficient. I also produced a shorter version, From Science and Religion to God. Another author I recently found is Misu Andrews. She develops Bible-based storylines into full-fledged historical fiction that I can relate to, while at the same time develop my understanding of Bible context. Andrews shines light on the spiritual history as found throughout the whole Bible, how not just the great names of Abraham, Moses, and Isaiah were inspired, but also how God inspired servants, soldiers, scribes, and cooks to live lives in tune with the one Spirit of truth and love and healing. As my human history turns into memories, it is the spiritual history I remember most, the relationships and movement that sources spirituality from divine Spirit. From the book of Ephesians, "Be filled with the Spirit, speaking to one another in psalms, hymns, and spiritual songs, singing and making melody in your heart to the Lord."